All right. Well, we've made it to number 89 in our packet. And here we have quite a task. We're going to multiply a trinomial by a trinomial. So in order to do that, everyone's going to need a straight edge. If you don't have a straight edge on your desk, there's protractors right here. Does anyone need one of these protractors? Okay, I'm gonna pass this back to them. Okay, just make sure you got a straight edge because you're going to need to make some pretty precise lines. So what we're going to make here is a 3-column by 3-row table. And you want to make this table spacious enough so that you can actually put numbers inside of it. So you want to, below your problem, draw this. So 3 rows and 3 columns. Make that. And if we look at number 89, we're going to write the top, that first trinomial, 3a squared minus a plus 5. We're going to write that across the top like this. We're going to put the 3a squared right here. And then we're going to write negative a right here. Okay. And then we're going to write 5 plus 5 right here. Then along this side here, we're going to write a squared negative 8a and negative 6. Okay, and what our goal is using multiplication, we're going to fill in all of these boxes. So what is 3a squared times a squared? Remember, you add the exponents. 3a to the 4th. How about 3a squared times negative 8a? Remember, this one's going to have an exponent of 1. So will this. So remember, multiply the big numbers and then write the letter and then add the exponents. So what's 3 times negative 8? Negative 24, right? So it's negative 24a, and now add 2 plus 1. Cube, yeah. How about 3a squared times negative 6? You added, multiply 3 times negative 6. Negative 18a squared. Very good. So how about negative a to the 1st times a to the 2nd? Negative a cubed. Negative a to the 3rd. Good. I've heard this voice over here multiple times giving me good answers. And here, good. Smart. How about negative a to the 1st times negative 8a to the 1st?
Negative 8 squared.
Will it be negative?
No,
It's going to be positive 8a squared. So put plus 8a squared. How about negative a to the 1st times negative 6? Positive 6a, so put plus 6a. 5 times a squared
5a squared.
plus 5a squared. 5 times negative 8a.
Negative 40a.
Very good. You guys are doing really good. Negative 40a. Finally, 5 times negative 6.
Negative 30.
Negative 30. Okay, now there is a hidden structure in this grid. So these can be combined, and all these are a squared. See, all of these can be combined. And then these are a's, these can be combined. So there's kind of a hidden structure there that some people find surprising. I find it surprising. Okay, so we always lead with the largest exponent. So we're actually going to write this all out now. 3a to the fourth. And now we've got to do negative 24a cubed plus negative 1a cubed. So it's going to be bigger negative numbers. Negative 25a cubed. So put minus 25a cubed. And now this one's, we're going to have to keep a lot in our heads. So 8a squared plus 5a squared is 13a squared. So what is negative 18 plus 13? So you're like subtracting 13 from 18, but the result's going to be negative. Negative 5a squared. And now negative 40a plus 6a.
Negative 34.
Negative 34a. And then you just tack on this minus 30 on the end. That's it.
So you just fill it in order?
You just fill it in order, in decreasing order of exponents. So that is C. Can I erase this?
How's it C?
Isn't it C? Did I do it? Did I say it wrong? It's C. Yeah, this is number.
Oh, we're on 89.
We're on 89. Okay. And then on number 90, we have another problem where we're multiplying a trinomial by a trinomial. So we're going to start by drawing that grid again. 3 rows and 3 columns. This is the last one like this. Then we get to do some interesting financial math, I think. Maybe it's just, we're going to jump into increases and decreases, which you see a lot of times in financial math, like discounting and marking up prices. There we go. So on the top, we're going to write 2n squared minus 8n plus 4. And then along the side, we're going to write 3n squared plus 7n minus 4. Now you guys can fill this in. All right. I'm going to cover up this with my, I'm going to body block this, and we'll see if we come up with the same thing. All right. So let's all work on this quiet and independently.
You want us to write your equation?
Raise your hand if you got this. Did I do it right? Did I make any mistakes? I was trying to do it in my head. Who's done?
I'm just writing it.
Oh, okay. This is kind of easier than it looks, right? It's just kind of a lot of work, but it's not all that hard. It looks, when you show it to people, it looks like you did a substantial amount of mathematics, which you did. Okay.
Where did you get 60 something earlier?
Okay, like I say, I could be wrong. 28 plus 32.
Oh,
So I said, well, 20 plus 30 is 50, 8 plus 2 is 10, so 50 plus 10 is 60. Let's let everybody finish up here. When you're ready, move on to the next page. And this is going to be a real welcome adjustment, a real welcome change as we enter these final 10 problems. Finally, it looks not algebra. Huh? Here we are on number 91. And all it tells us is we're going from 97 to 27. Well, first of all, is this an increase or a decrease?
Decrease.
Okay, so it's a decrease. And so here's how I like to show this, okay? New minus old over old, okay? New minus old over old.
Mr. Merlin, would you like some coffee?
Some coffee?
Get me there.
Um,
It's
iced coffee.
Oh, we have some hot in the library, so.
Yeah, I'd love some iced coffee, but no, nothing else.
So just black coffee.
Just black coffee.
Would you like some iced coffee? I don't know if I can.
Thank you. Wow, I'm gonna be awake. Yeah. Thank you very much. Very sweet. Guys. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Thank you.
I like it.
Okay, didn't expect to get a refreshment. Okay, so like I said, we take the new value, we subtract the old value, and we divide by the old value. So in this case, what's our new value? 27. What's our old value? What's our old value?
97.
Yeah, that's why we have the calculators. Everybody's got the calculators. You kind of need the calculators to do this because otherwise we're talking about a nightmare. Yeah.
I got 26.
No, we're not done yet. So tell me what you get when you do this.
86.
How'd you get 26?
I put 27 minus 97 divided by 97.
27. Oh, okay, the order of operations is going to mess you up.
Oh.
So you could do 27 minus 97, then hit enter, and then divide by 97.
That's what I did. I got -0.7.
Okay, now, yeah, you're right. So let's just take a look at what we got in the calculator. So when I put this in the calculator, it gave me negative 0.721649, blah, blah, blah.
So do we just use to the 10?
What'd you get?
I got -70.
Oh, okay, so if you put it in alpha y equals enter like that, then you just need to hit math 2,
We just go to the 10?
enter. So now look, this is the fraction, this is the decimal form, and so they want to know it as a percent. So you just move the decimal place over. So it's negative 72%. So that would be a decrease of 72.2%. They want you to round to the nearest tenths place. Yeah, do you have any questions about how we're doing this?
This is easy.
Well, we're still going to show the work. Okay? So on number 92, we're asked to go from 57 to 81. Hold up, everybody, hold up. Let me catch up. We're all going to be on the same page here. Number 92, from 57 to 81. So is this an increase or a decrease? It's going to be an increase. So we're going to do new minus old over old. Okay, so what's the new number? 81. What's the old number? Minus 57 over old, which is 57. Okay. So here we go in the calculator. I'm going to do 81 minus 57, and I got 24. And then I divide that by 57, and I got 0.42. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by 100, and that'll give me my percent change, right? 42.1% increase. So this is going to equal 0.421, that I'm going to move it over. So that's going to be 42.1% increase. So that's going to be C.
So how do you really show work on this?
You write everything I wrote on the board. You see? You write everything I write on the board. You're telling the viewer of the paper, here's how I did it, right? Okay, number 93. We're going from, make sure you're writing this down, from 20 meters to 22 meters. Okay, so I'm going to do new minus old over old. So what's my new number? 22? It's going to be an increase. 22 minus 20 over 20. And then I'll take that and multiply it by 100. So 22 minus 20 is 2. Divided by 20 is 0.1. Okay? So this equals 0.1. So if I multiply that by 100 to get it as a percent, I'll move it over 2 places. And I have this blank space. I'm going to fill it with a 0. So this is equal to 10% increase. Okay. And that's number 93. So now we're going to number 94. Number 94, we're going from 58 meters to 20 meters. So we're descending, or we're descending. Okay. So this is going to be a decrease. We should expect a negative percent change, but we're going to write this formula down every time. New minus old over old. Do you know why we write it down every time? What would be the benefit of just repeatedly writing this down?
So you remember.
Yes. Okay. So the new number is 20 minus the old number, which is 58, over the old number, which is 58.
There's no negative, right?
There's going to be a negative in the problem as you work it out. So if you do 20 minus 58, you'll get negative 38. Then divide that by 58, and you end up with negative, well, let me just write it out. You get negative 0.6551. Okay, so when we multiply that by 100 to get it as a percent, we move the decimal place over 2 places. And I look here, this is the digit I'm going to round. So I take a look at this digit to the right in the hundredths place, and I say, is this 5 or greater? No. Therefore, my change is going to be a 65.5% decrease.
I'm gonna do the number.
So that's going to be B. Okay, number 95. So the question is, 127 is what percent of 98? So here's how you set it up. Write this down. 127 equals something times 98. All right, it's an algebra problem. So divide both sides by 98. Okay. You can use your calculators for this part. Here I got 1.29591 equals X. Okay, so we need to express this as a percent. So we move the decimal place over 2 places. And then we're checking to see if we need to round this 5. And so we look at the 9. Sure enough, we're going to round it up to 6. So I'm going to have 129.6%. And that's my answer. Okay. So 127 is 129.6% of 98. Okay. Number 96. Now this is phrased a little bit differently. It's asking us what percent of 76 is 43.2. So what percent of is just X. So this is number 96. So what percent of, I'm just going to write X. That stands in for what percent of. So we're going to multiply X times 76. Is means equals 43.2. Okay? So all we do is divide both sides by 76. So X is going to equal I got here 0.56842. So I'm going to move this guy over 2 places, check my hundredths digit. I don't need a round. So this is going to equal 56.8%. Okay, D. Number 97. We're getting close. Yeah, I made the last few problems pretty easy because I know that as you get closer, your will to go on decreases. So we're going to write 600 in scientific notation. So I know that for a lot of people, this is big time review. You already know it, but let me walk through how I do it. So right now, the decimal point is right there, okay? So I want to move this decimal point 2 places, okay? So instead of writing 600, I moved it 2 places, right? So instead of writing 600, I'm going to write 6 times 10 raised to the number of places I moved, which in this case is 2. 6 times 10 to the second power. Okay? So I moved the decimal over 2 places, and then I wrote the 6 times 10 to the second power. Okay. Now let's look at number 98. It's just giving me 45. So right now the decimal point is there. I'm going to move the decimal point over 1 place and put it there. So this is going to equal 4.5 times 10 to the first power. Okay. Now number 99 and 100, I think they just ask us to go in reverse. So here they give us a scientific notation problem, 9.9 times 10 to the negative 5th power. So the negative 5th power means we need to move the decimal point to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my new decimal point goes right there. Everywhere here gets a 0, 0, 0, 0. So this is your unadjusted answer is going to be 0.000099. C. And finally, we've made it. We did it. I can't believe it. I'm sure you can't either. We made it to the 100th question. I know we all thought this guy's not really serious. We're going to do 100 problems for the review. Okay. I thought he said we were going to watch movies. No, I didn't. We did watch that. We finished that movie. So now I'm going to take this point here and move it over 3 places to the right because I'm at 10 to the 3rd. Okay, move it over 3 places. So I'm going to put in 2 zeros here. So that's going to be 3,700. And that's going to be C. All right, guys, let me just conclude by saying I'm very proud of you. Now, this class, we did all these problems, but remember, all the other problems were recorded throughout the day. So these are all going to be uploaded on YouTube. Remember, the test review is due Monday at 8 a.m. All work must be shown on the paper in the packet, and all of your answers must be in CUDA Works. So remember, the CUDA Works part only accounts for 50%. The other 50% is you showing me that you did all the work on all the problems. Every single problem in this packet has now been worked out, and it will be on YouTube by the time you get home. You have until Monday at 8 a.m. to get all this done, okay? So with that, let me just wrap this up and conclude the recording. Great job, folks.